Local governments have specific needs and requirements, and they also have certain legislative obligations that they need to make sure that they can comply with. As a law firm that specialises in local government law, we understand those obligations and we can navigate local governments through all of the obligations that they need to meet when it comes to their property and leasing needs. We have assisted local governments in the past with very high-profile property settlements, and we've been involved from the very beginning through to the end. Having one constant source throughout the whole process makes it a smooth transition from being the owner of a property to selling that property on to someone else.
As a director here at Cornerstone Legal, I oversee the property section, and I often work together with Rebecca Kane to make sure that the leases address what the client's needs are, as well as ensure that when there's negotiations that need to be done, they're done effectively, properly and promptly. Here at Cornerstone Legal, we've assisted with the sale of retirement villages for a local government. We've assisted with the releasing and providing advice or restrictive covenants and easements. Now, all of these things are very important. They require the solicitor to not only just have an attention to detail, not only just to know the provisions of the Local Government Act, but to know it in the context of how business works. Rebecca Kane has drafted a lot of easements, restrictive covenants, as well as subdivision or rezoning agreements. I'm there to always overlook what she does, but her attention to detail and making sure she gets the process right, as well as having a strong foundation within local government law, means that she's best placed to be able to assist you.
There's a whole range of matters that local governments need to be aware of when they're dealing with land. The benefit of turning to a lawyer to assist in the sale or purchase of land is that we can review the terms of the contract, negotiate the terms of the contract, and also provide advice on the terms of the contract. We can look at whether or not there's any guarantees and indemnities that are required to be made, advise you on those guarantees and indemnities, and also put some barriers around the guarantees and indemnities if it's necessary for those types of terms to remain in the contract. We have helped local governments dispose of valuable assets and receive money that allows them to provide other valuable resources for the residents within their community.
Here at Cornerstone Legal, we've drafted many restrictive covenants, easements, rezoning and subdivision agreements, as well as development agreements to make sure that you get the development process right. Here at Cornerstone Legal, we know what's needed by local governments, we know what's needed by developers, and we're able to assist to make sure that things are attended to in a timely fashion to keep business moving.
We've also seen local governments have easements granted over land that were historical easements that have needed to be rectified over time because that easement's no longer applicable. We've been able to assist local governments to remove easements from title and also make sure that if they need fresh easements, those obligations and the terms of the easement are up to date and properly reflected on the title. Here at Cornerstone Legal, we can also assist local governments throughout the subdivision process. Local governments are often consulted when subdivision applications are made by persons within their district, and there are often subdivision conditions which are imposed by the West Australian Planning Commission, which requires the approval or satisfaction of the local government. We are able to assist local governments in preparing rezoning agreements or subdivision documents to make sure that subdivision conditions can be satisfied, and the local governments can also be satisfied that their interests are being protected.
Here at Cornerstone Legal, we're able to attend to your local government needs in property quickly. What that means is that we're not going to sit on a restrictive covenant or an easement or a rezoning agreement or a development agreement and wait for weeks and weeks. We're going to attend to it because that's important and critical to make sure that the wheels of business can keep turning. Rebecca Kane and I work together on matters of property. Whether that's your leasing needs, whether that's restrictive covenants, easements or agreements, we're here to be able to assist you as a local government. Please come and see us and speak to us to see how we can best service your needs.